Well, Parkland happened. Been meaning to do a video about this for a while now, but not for a while, ever since it happened, but never really got to it. But there's just so much that stinks about Parkland. From FBI malfeasance, the media using children as bait, some conservatives backing down, Trump trying to be a centrist on this when he really shouldn't. I mean, it's just a lot of it that just doesn't sit well with me. But, yeah. A lot about mass shootings don't sit well with me, and it's mostly due to the left's hysteria over guns. Because they just don't know a damn thing about them. They just don't. They don't know a damn thing. Alright? And sometimes when they say, oh, I respect the Second Amendment, but... You know they're being assholes. You know they're not actually going to try to go for a compromise, alright? A lot of Democratic senators say this, except Bernie Sanders, who was actually more to the right on guns than most of the left, but he has to say these things to appease his base. I'm not sure he'd ever vote for any gun control legislation, despite the fact I don't really like him. But, okay, so this whole situation with Parkland, I'm not going to say the shooter's name. Okay, just to be clear. I don't want to add to this media malfeasance of saying the shooter's name and basically putting him on this huge-ass pedestal, basically going through every aspect of his life so people can glorify him, worship him in the way they did Columbine, and then go out and shoot another school. That's one of the biggest problems with the responses to mass shootings in public schools. In schools in general. And, yeah, so I'm not going to say his name, but this guy, he was a Latino, he was not a white nationalist like you'll hear a lot of other people say, but he was a Latino kid. He'd been bullied, he had just lost his parents beforehand, but he was also causing a lot of trouble at home. He was apparently so bad that the cops were called to the dude's house 39 times. 39 separate times. 39. That is way too much. Something was definitely wrong with that kid. And somebody told the FBI about him. Alright, there was some guy on YouTube who was, I think it was on YouTube, who said something about how he was going to shoot up a school. A lot of his friends, or people who knew him, said that we're not surprised that he did it because he kept saying, oh, I'm going to shoot up a school. Look at all these guns. I'm going to shoot everybody. The FBI had all this clear evidence from them, but they did nothing. Just like with the shooter in Orlando. They did nothing. Alright? The guy in Orlando, he was also under an FBI investigation, was on the no-fly list until they all of a sudden just dropped it. And that allowed that dude to take himself to go to a gun store and then shoot up all the people in that gay nightclub. It's kind of basically the same thing. They had clear evidence that he was doing some stupid shit, or that he had willful intent to do some stupid shit. And right then and there, he took that opportunity and went up to shoot the school. Alright? I think it was like 17 dead. Many more wounded. And it was just sad. Like a few people from the JROTC got shot. A football coach put himself between some kids trying to save him. Actually, a lot of people went to the JROs. A lot of people were defended by the JROTC. They were putting up Kevlar vests in front of windows and stuff, putting it around their faces and bodies so that way they wouldn't get shot. And 17 people got killed. I know, it's terrible. It's terrible, alright? Every mass shooting is terrible, okay? So before you get on to me, but you're gonna say stuff that defends guns. Well, of course I am. You should know that by now if you watch my channel regularly, number one. Number two, I'm not gonna spin this into some political hack job. That's not what I do. I'm a goddamn 18-year-old who's trying to work a job and to go to school and doing this all throughout my weeks, all throughout the months, all throughout the year. So don't you dare try to attribute bad motive to me, assholes. If you're wanting to do that. Then anyway, once the dust settled, the media went into the regular rants about we need to ban guns to save the kids. And then you had people on the right who saying stop with the bullshit. We don't even know what the fuck happened. And when we figured out what the fuck happened, almost everyone in the media was silent on the FBI's malfeasance. And I was arguing with people on Instagram today. This was not the gun's fault. Stop attributing false motive to a goddamn object, number one. Number two, this was clearly the FBI's fault. And there was people saying, how are you how dare you blame the FBI? There is freaking evidence. It's been all over the news, been highly unreported by a lot of mainstream media outlets that the FBI knew. The FBI knew about this guy, and they did nothing. And they kept saying, oh, hey, guess what? Stop blaming the FBI. We need gun control and all that shit. And I'm like, you people just don't know what the fuck you're saying. So anyway, and you got a lot of people from the school who survived the shooting who are basically calling for increased gun legislation, which would not have stopped this goddamn shooting. I mean, I feel for the kids. I really do. But I swear they don't know what they're talking about. They don't. I doubt they've ever really gone through the gun policy. One of them, I think it was Daniel Hogg, or some other kid that was planning this march in March, of all months, to march for gun violence on Washington, D.C. They said you're either with us or against us, which is really, really divisive, especially against people who are trying to actually overview the situation, and try to calculate what type of things would have stopped stuff like this and what we need to do going forward. A bunch of them are just being absolute assholes. Like, basically anyone who is trying to say, hey, calm down, we don't need to be banning guns, they're saying, well, you don't care about us, you don't care about children. They keep saying this thing, we're being killed every day in the streets. Like, someone going after you every day with a gun? I don't think so. I don't think so. No one was going after me every day with a gun. I'm in a small school. Alright, I guarantee you a lot of people at big schools don't have people with guns going at them every day. Unless they're living next to a freaking gang neighborhood, then in that case, it might be then. But even then, well, what the heck? They've got mostly illegal guns. And they're probably handguns at that, not a freaking AR-15. Which is another thing. Everybody keeps blaming the AR-15. The AR-15 is not used in the majority of mass freaking shootings or even killings in the United States as goddamn handguns. Alright, in China, just had a huge stabbing on a train. And I know trains got decreased space, but a train stabbed 27 people, injured almost 100. Alright, where knife attacks actually are so common in Britain that they actually ban long kitchen knives. People are going to find another way to kill. Stop coming to me with this bullshit about guns. Like it's a gun's fault. It's a goddamn inanimate object. What the hell is it going to do? Alright, I can understand not wanting to have military-grade weapons, but all the weapons that are legal in the United States are not military-grade. They are all either semi-automatic, lever action, bolt action. That's it. Not fully automatic, not a goddamn rocket launcher, not a goddamn minigun. Not a goddamn even military helicopter unless it's for recreational use. And even then, you gotta get all these licenses and shit. But I swear, these kids don't know what they're talking about. They're just going ahead with it. They're attributing false motive to a lot of people who are actually sympathizing with them, me included. And it's really fucking annoying. It's gotta stop. It's gotta stop this type of divisive language from gun control advocates everywhere about how we need to band together, and then all of a sudden, oh, we gotta blame the NRA, which has millions and millions and millions of members, and who, not any member, as far as I know of, in any time in history, has gone out and tried to shoot up a fucking school. When have we ever seen that happen? Okay, this is like them saying that the Tea Party was full of terrorists, and even though only one freaking guy from the Tea Party ever got arrested, and it was for false charges. The NRA is not responsible for this. How is the NRA responsible? They're for responsible gun ownership. Alright? When the freaking shooting in Las Vegas happened, they were for the legislation banning or at least restricting bump stocks, which is something that President Trump wants to do. And there was this mom on CNN. I'm tired of these victims being pushed up on a pedestal. I don't even think it's halfly their fault for not really knowing about the issue. I mean, I feel for them, but they need to be educated on the issue if I'm going to take them seriously on it. But the media keep just pushing them on these pedestals. Keep saying, hey, guess what? You want to go talk to these people? You want to talk to representatives and stuff? Here, we'll give you a goddamn microphone. And she was just lashing out at President Trump like he could have done something. This was not his fault. You know what really could have stopped him? Somebody else with a goddamn gun standing there, or someone who had sufficient training to beat his ass if he got close. Why can't we have armed teachers? Why can't we have metal detectors at all the doors? Why can't we have a lockdown system like they do in hospitals, where if the guy starts shooting at the goddamn school, all the doors lock? Why can't we do that? Huh? Why can't we? Honestly, honest to God, why can't we? But no, it's militarizing schools. You're militarizing schools and you're not being specific enough. How is that not being specific? Getting teachers trained and certified, or at least getting security guards, even police, to guard the goddamn schools. We have freaking guards in banks, for God's sake. In banks. At multimedia events. At sports events. At concerts. Why can't we have people guarding our children? Why can't we? Give me one good reason why. And there isn't one. I have not seen any goddamn argument that is any good for people saying that we cannot protect our children like that. That is so fucking dumb. And I'm getting... Ugh. Alright, and I feel for these kids, okay? But they're going in extremely misguided. And the media is misguiding them even more. And it's going to make them go down this road where everything's going to be divisive. Alright? And a lot of people are also attributing false motive to conservatives who say, hey, we need to figure out what's going on. They say, oh no, you don't care enough. You don't care enough. You're in the pocket of the NRA. You're in the pocket of that guy. That guy. They're all throwing blame to everyone. Like the Congress could have done anything to stop that goddamn shooting. Or the one in Las Vegas. Or the one in Orlando. The one in San Bernardino. The ones that we just cannot figure out. The people on the left can't figure this out. This is not a goddamn gun problem. Alright, gun violence has been decreasing at a steady rate. Steady rate. Since before the first ever gun control law passed in the 1960s. Alright? And when the Brady Act got passed in 1994, it's been proven to be ineffective. It was proven to once that bill passed and when it expired in 2004 and was not reinitialized, it did not do much of anything. It didn't. Alright, and granted there may be room for error, but the Brady Act did not do shit. Did absolutely almost nothing. Did absolutely almost nothing to stop any of these mass shootings. Top that off, all our schools are gun-free zones. Where do you think the majority of mass shootings happen? At gun-free zones. Gun-free zones. Alright? It's a freaking playground for mass shooters. They know no one's going to be able to come after them until a policeman shows up. Alright? You know why we've only had one mass shooting with 50 people dead in the past 100-something years? You want to know why? Because, believe it or not, people with guns actually do the goddamn job called the police. And even if then, like the shooting in Sutherland, Texas, you may have a law-abiding gun owner who will shoot the shit out of someone if they try to shoot them or somebody else around them. And the fact that this happened in a gun-free zone and everyone is neglecting that, just like they did with Sandy Hook, and they're also standing on the graves of the goddamn kids and the teachers in order to push this insane notion that the gun is the problem, that we have to ban the gun, that we have to ban the object that didn't have a choice. Like the gun has a personality. It's like, I'm gonna shoot the fuck out of you, you son of a bitch! Like that. Like, this is literally what's going through these people's minds. And it's pissing me off. Do not Alright. Fuck. In conclusion, this is the same goddamn stuff we're gonna get. We're gonna get normal thoughts and prayer stuff, and then they'll say, no, you're never doing anything good with the thoughts and prayers. Even though this is something religious people do on a goddamn daily basis and stuff like that, and being an asshole about it isn't going to get people on your side. And that's what most of the media and most of the left is being about this. It's just being goddamn dicks. Alright, and a lot of them are finally showing their true colors. They're finally saying, hey, we just want to ban guns. We don't actually want to respect the Second Amendment. We want a full damn repeal of it. So you don't know. It's just, they are not paying attention. They're not paying attention to the underlying facts just to promote a political jihad that has been going on since the 1960s, that has not had a single great victory that would have actually done anything. Alright, I'm for reasonable legislation to keep stuff like this from happening. Okay, why can't it be when someone is being called on the police, the FBI show up? Like, if it's a violent crime, why can't we call the FBI? Put them in the no-fly list, or put them in the gun ban book, where they can't buy a gun. I mean, I know they do that with felonies and stuff, but I mean, if they're showing reasonable intent to harm other people, then they should have their rights taken away until they can prove that they're not going to do that. And even then, you got to keep them under a close eye. Right? But still, why can't we have armed teachers? Why can't we have lockdowns? Why can't we have metal detectors? Why can't we have things that would actually prevent things like that from happening? I'm telling you, if they had a bodyguard at that school, that kid wouldn't have done shit. Or at least he would have tried and wouldn't be getting shot. Alright, now I was just watching Hardball, and there was, with Chris Matthews, and one of the chicks was saying, well, you're not being specific enough. I'm like, all you gotta do is train people, better be fair. You don't have to have all the teachers have a gun, but at least have some of them have a gun and have armed security guards. Alright? But saying that that's not specific enough, that's asinine. That is asinine and just ridiculous. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed it. See you later.